What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Nate, what episode are we on? Is it five?
It's like yeah, it's like 5 or 6 or something like
Five or
that.
six? I don't know. It's a five, probably. I'm gonna go with five. We're shooting for that one. Welcome back to the episode, guys. We have a very, very special guest today. And as you know, this is the Dev Nate Show. I'm Dev,
I'm Nate.
and welcome back to the show. Today, guys, we have,
Evan Hovich. What's up, guys? How's it going?
and yeah, we got an exciting show today. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. I'm going, got crazy stuff going on. I just came back from a Jewish food festival. It was amazing. The first one in Charleston, I think, that they do. Like, they do it every year, something like that. And so, yeah, I'm having a crazy day. How are y'all's week so far?
Not too bad. Just went to the Mavs game last night. Just like
Of course.
every podcast I mentioned it. I mean,
Man loves the Mavs games. I swear, loves those things.
yeah,
You do anything fun this weekend, Evan?
Yeah, man. So I'm actually in New York right now, partly for business and partly to have fun. It's been a great time. Right now, I'm staying outside while I'm waiting for my friend to check us into the hotel room at the Moxie in somewhere in the city. Don't know where. But yeah, man, it's been a great time. Been eating some good food. Definitely need to start hitting the gym after this weekend. And
Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, New York's a really fun place. There's a lot of fun stuff to do there. You definitely got to go try some of the restaurants. One of my favorite ones down there is called BLT Prime. That place
no,
is
I've heard of
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
It's a very bougie restaurant. They got really nice steaks, but you got to try
Hmm.
that spot. It's so fire. I'll text you after the pod's over. But
All right,
yeah,
cool, man.
it's super fire. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so we need to jump into it, guys. We got Nate, what's going on this week? I know we got something to do with like FTX or something like with crypto or what's going
yeah,
on.
their CEO just bailed, like, and took all the money and ran. I guess. And is that? I mean, I don't know the whole story, but
He bailed? Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
didn't he like
Eh,
fly from another country or something?
Oh my god. And that another thing too, we should probably mention too, Evan does a lot of stuff with crypto, right? You did crypto and like kind of explain to like everyone kind of like what your like background is, like what type of like business you're in.
Yeah, so as far as crypto development, NFT development, I was a part of a startup project out in Miami. Last January, I did leave working with them, but I've been involved in crypto in terms of just the education portion of it, learning about it, learning what it's going to do for our economy and straight up how it affects the circulation of currency in today's society. One of the biggest things that is so important about cryptocurrency is, it's we're going into a Web3, system from
Mhm.
a Web2 system. So it's basically how fast money can transfer to point A versus point B. We can get a Bitcoin or whatever currency is in seconds to any part of the world, right? It doesn't matter about your location or anything. It's all based on the digital and the web. As long as you have access to a computer, you're good. So my background really steeps hard into marketing. I own a marketing and web development agency right now. We work with clients actually internationally, but mostly all around the U.S. And we do some focuses on NFT and ICO development. Working with companies in that space and always encouraging people to transition to that space.
That is awesome, man. That is so cool. Yeah, I know you do a lot of stuff with that. So I think that stuff's really cool. So I know you mentioned Web 2 and Web 3. For people who don't know what that is, is it you kind of touched on a little bit. It's how fast money can move. Like what's
No,
like the
so
difference?
yeah. So I'll explain Web 2 and Web 3 very simply. Okay. So I want you to think about it from this perspective. The Web 2.0, the people that led it, right? It was Facebook, it was Google. It was basically it was basically receiving the information, okay? So Google and Facebook have allowed us through advertisements and all their different systems have allowed us to receive information at an extremely fast rate, okay? Now, what Web point, but it was all centralized. Okay. Now, Web 3.0, there's two main components from my perspective. One component is a fact, and one component comes from me. The component that's a fact is we're moving into decentralization, basically meaning doing stuff that the government and people cannot track, right? So if I wanted to send Devin 1 Bitcoin right now, I'm gonna send it from my wallet. Wallet, yeah.
Let's
I mean,
go. Buy a
it's
lot of pizzas
crashing.
with that.
Yeah, a lot of pizzas. So it wouldn't be Evan sending Devin 1 Bitcoin. It would be wallet 1867429 blah 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 sending wallet 724567911. You know, 1 Bitcoin. So there's no name, no email, nothing associated to that wallet. That is why, if you've heard the term seed phrase, It's probably one of the most important phrases in the crypto space and NFT space, because that is the password that accesses your wallet. There's no phone line you can call, no support system, no forgot password tool, none of that. So we're moving into decentralization now. From my point of view, Web 3.0 is now not only the receiving of the information, but it's the passing of information. It's the sharing the information, right? It's sharing technology. In my opinion, currency, it's not, yes, it is money, but it's more technology. Cryptocurrency is technology, right? It's computerized systems that are running the show. So that's the biggest difference. We're basically moving into a space of decentralization, and everything's getting a lot faster. So I hope you guys are ready for the new wave.
Oh, I'm
Not
ready for
all,
the new wave.
not all the cryptocurrencies are decentralized though, right? Like Solana is more central backing. Like isn't like Ethereum also more centralized?
So when I say decentralization, I don't mean the actual coin. I mean the process, and the process of actually owning it and buying it. For example, Nate, let's say you wanted to buy a pair of Nike shoes in cryptocurrency, in Bitcoin, okay? When you go ahead and buy that, your crypto is going to be taken from your wallet. There is no name associated with it, right? That's what I mean. And if you I would not call any cryptocurrency centralized. The backing behind it may be centralized. The
Okay.
people may be centralized. But I can come out with a coin, the Devin Nate coin, and nobody will know who is behind that coin. So that's a really cool factor in terms of privacy. The government has all of our information. Everybody, they're on us about pretty much everything. And we're finally at a place where we can do things without us being watched for everything we do.
Yeah,
Granted,
so
if
you
you really
can.
wanted to, you could track someone's wallet down, do some research, try to figure out who it is, but it's very difficult to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I feel like you can easily follow, I guess, the footprints and like, I guess, find the fingerprint of the wallet, what that wallet's doing, easier the transaction because it's all more public nowadays compared to, I guess, just I'm not saying like credit cards are better, but like credit cards, I guess, it might have more privacy compared to, I guess, you can find a Bitcoin wallet and find the transactions it's doing here and there. I mean, that's kind of part of being in a blockchain. Everything's open, it's all public, and you can't really hide anything behind the doors, right?
Exactly. You cannot hide anything. The blockchain is irreversible. There's no such thing as an irreversible transaction. Once something is set out on the blockchain, it is out on the blockchain forever. Um, the only way a transaction stops is if it actually fails. Will
Mm.
that fail? Transaction will be on the blockchain, but the actual transaction will not occur. Once a transaction occurs, that's it. It is on the blockchain forever. It is irreversible.
It's actually really funny. I was smiling, almost laughing because I thought Nate was about to fall asleep listening to this stuff. And then he just came back like jelly with these questions. I was like, okay, Nate. I was actually impressed. But no, this stuff I think is really interesting. I know a lot of our viewers probably, some of them may not even know what crypto is. So I think that stuff's really interesting. And it's cool to kind of like talk about it a little bit because some people just might not know what it is and just blows their
Exactly.
mind. Hearing stuff like this to them is just crazy. So yeah, it's cool that I'm happy you explained that to them. But yeah, so what do you think about the FTX stuff? Because I mean, I know you said
Ooh.
I know, yeah. So I got to hear your thoughts on this because I know what Nate said. Like the guy just jumped ship and like what
Mhm.
you were saying earlier. Like there's like no real accountability. Like there's no support system. Like how does
Mhm.
that affect things?
So this was something that was coming. Whenever you get into something that has such high volume and popularity, you know, there's going to be fraudulent people. There's going to be bad things that happen, and unfortunately, FTX suffered from it. Now, I will say this: there's a lot more that we don't know, and there's a lot of planning into all that has happened with FTX. No company worth that much money. They literally had the naming rights for the Miami Heat. No company with that much money goes bankrupt like that. Now, I will say cryptocurrency is something that you can wake up in the morning and have none of. They were one of the most popular exchanges. There's a lot of fishy stuff going on. And to be honest, we will probably never know the truth. But I will say this: there's a lot of bad people behind that project. And a lot of people doing a lot of bad things. So it was something that I strongly thought was going to come, whether it's from Coinbase, FTX, whatever it is. It was going to come.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember they had something too on OpenSea with like NFT stuff too with like they were having like issues or something like that too.
Hmm.
Do you remember seeing stuff like that?
Well, yeah. So I mean, there's always issues. There's always fishy people. There's always okay. So cryptocurrency has brought out an entirely new different set of scams. Um, that either of you guys, let's say I sent you a link, and if you clicked on that link, I could hack your phone, hack your wallet, steal, transfer everything out of your wallet into mine, and I will never get caught
Mm.
because it's decentralized. All they will see is wallet, blah blah blah. Transfer this amount to wallet, blah blah blah. So there's a lot of whole new set of scams and schemes, and it's something so good that obviously everything good must have bad. There's
Yep.
two sides of every story, and anybody that says everything is 100% perfect is just blatantly fooling themselves and fooling the rest of the people that they're talking to.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I think
The
that
FTX
stuff's
project had a lot of big names attached to it. It was like Tom Brady, like Kevin O'Leary,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of big people surrounded it. Like,
no
Oh
way.
yeah,
yeah, it's
oh
not like
yeah.
it's a small company. Like, there's a lot of people, sponsors. Like, they were one of the big Super Bowl ads, right? Or was that
Mm-hmm.
Coinbase?
Oh,
Yeah.
probably. I actually have no idea. Probably both, to be honest.
I think it was Coinbase. I think I remember seeing it because it was like a really cool ad, and I remember like clicking on it with all my friends there. We were all like joking around. Yo, I feel like everyone did this. Like they were all like, "What is this link?" And then they clicked on it, and it was sick, and it was like really cool. And then Coinbase. Actually, it's funny enough. I remember now. Coinbase actually their website crashed because so
Mm-hmm.
many people went to it, which
Yep.
was nuts. I thought that was insane. Funny thing, actually, on a sidebar, actually. So I saw this it was like something on like Instagram or something where it said that very trustworthy news source, by the way, I gotta tell you, Instagram. But but no, literally I saw this little chart, and it showed companies. It was actually really funny. It showed companies that went on and did a commercial on the Super Bowl, and like the amount of money that they made off of it, and then like how they're doing now, and it showed them like completely like down bad. So it was like a
Mm-hmm.
funny like tale. Like if you go on the Super Bowl, then your company goes really bad. And I if I can find the account real quick, I'll try to see
There's
if I can.
like companies that go every year, like M&M's, Bud Light, like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
there are companies that go there every year. They're doing all right. Like,
Oh really? Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess that's
Coca-Cola
true.
is not failing anytime soon just from going on the Super Bowl. Like,
I just thought it was so funny because there was a bunch of them. I think Coinbase was on there too.
maybe
But
like first time you could say something like that, but I don't think Bud Light's failing anytime soon just because
yeah,
so bad. But
maybe who knows? But yeah, that FTX stuff is crazy though. I think that
Really
stuff is
crazy.
nuts.
now what got you in crypto? Like, did you start when they like what I guess what Bitcoin boom I guess got you involved?
Yes. So, honestly, I saw a shift in technology. World changes, people change every single day. Now I really think that there's much more to crypto. So the way I envision cryptocurrency is not a simple transaction. You know, thinking about the effect on the U.S. dollar, thinking about let's compare it to this. Ready? I'm going to give you an example of why I think cryptocurrency can be so beneficial. Let's talk about what happened in Russia, right? Okay,
Yeah.
Russia invaded Ukraine, right? So what happens? Everybody's cut off economic sanctions with Russia. The Russian currency tanked. Okay, people with multi millions of currency in Russian currency in the bank, they can you guys see me?
Mhm.
They went to shit, right? So all of their money basically lost all of its value because the currency lost its value. So therefore, the people that were actually making it were the people that were investing into cryptocurrency because they had it in their wallets. The Russian government cannot control somebody's cryptocurrency. It's decentralized, right? So it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the nation that they live in. The house that they live in. It has nothing to do with that. It's not a materialistic thing. The best part about cryptocurrency is the intangibles, right? What you can't touch, what you can't feel. So they were able to buy things and do things with the cryptocurrency that they had. So, for example, I know many personal stories, people, multimillionaires that were living luxurious lives in Russia. If they didn't get out on time and they were broke, they had no money, they couldn't do anything. Their money was locked up in the banks. So that's kind of the effect. That's the long term vision of it. That's the big picture. The big picture is it taking over as a um, worldwide currency. Now I know you know about all these crap coins, right? And,
Mhm.
there's thousands of coins. They are diluting, and I truly believe in the next 5 to 10 years, the top 10 will stay. They'll be, you know, consistent. They'll be good. They'll be strong, and the rest will fall out and fail.
So
Yeah,
do you
that
feel like Bitcoin is that coin, or do you think there's like a coin that was rise to the top?
I
Because
think
there's
we don't
like,
know that we
you
don't
know
know
that.
that yet. People think it's gonna be Bitcoin. People think it's Ethereum. I would definitely say Ethereum over Bitcoin. I like Ethereum's technology way better. Bitcoin is very old style. Ethereum also just completed its merger a few months back to 2.0. So
But
I
Ethereum's gas fees are very expensive though. It's not that feasible almost. Like just sending like everyday purchases. Like if I'm go back to our Nike shoes example, just to pay for those shoes, you're paying like so much more taxes on top of it, just paying for the gas fees.
well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Since the merger, it's gotten a lot. It's not like that no more.
I
Yeah,
got
so
you.
that's why. So the reason why Ethereum's gas fees were so high was because it was failing on its own success. When Ethereum became Ethereum, it wasn't supposed to be able to take that many transactions. It couldn't handle the amount of volume it was receiving.
Mhm.
So when it was receiving the unexpected, they started to fail. So yeah.
that's so interesting. Anyway, guys, I found the real post. So basically, I completely botched it. So it's just this past year. So if you this is a post from the Wall Street Bets page on Instagram. Fun fact: if you spent $1,000 shorting the 2022 Super Bowl advertisers, you'd be a billionaire today. And top one: FTX, Carvana, DraftKings, Uber Eats, Meta, Oculus, Rocket
hmm
Mortgage, Coinbase. Oh, so I guess they were both on there, FTX and Coinbase.
hmm
Vroom, Salesforce, and GM. So
Well,
you'd literally be a billionaire today. Isn't that insane?
I think that's just more of a representation of where the economy has gone since I guess last February.
Well, I'm sure that hasn't helped. But
Exactly.
FTX, for an example, dropped 88%, about 88%.
Yeah, of course.
Carvana's dropped almost 100%. Coinbase has dropped 85% over the last year. Meta, 71% year to date. And it's literally all the same, like 60, 40, 50%. It's insane.
hmm Well, I think that also has to do with the big market shift.
Mhm.
That's a whole market thing. But no, yeah, it's insane. It's crazy, just how our economy is right now. It's shit, straight up. It's awful.
Yeah, for real. And another thing too, I want to ask you, Evan. So how does when you buy cryptocurrency and when you have cryptocurrency, how does that relate to the economy? Does it, I mean, we kind of see it kind of generally tracks the economy, but does
hmm
cryptocurrency usually do better when the economy's lower?
So that's actually a great question. The two correlate. They have a very indirect correlation and a very um, misrepresented correlation. It's not something that's effective every single time. For example, um, cryptocurrency, when the US dollar is struggling or the US stock market is struggling, you have to think about this, right? Cryptocurrency is not a US based thing. So you have to think about it from a worldly perspective. So everybody, if the entire world is struggling, then cryptocurrency will struggle, right?
Mm, I
Just
see.
because of based off, when people don't have money, they're not going to be buying cryptocurrency. So
Mhm.
the correlation is there, but it's indirect.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Nate loves crypto. You could tell he's over here smiling and everything.
I had a phase in college where I was a little more into it. I mean, to be fair, it just seemed like Bitcoin's been stagnant for the past few months and not
hmm
much going on.
But you guys have to understand. I'm going to say how many words? 5 words, and you guys got to remember these 5 words.
Words.
Ready?
All right, I'm writing it
Okay.
down.
Zoom out on the chart. Okay. What I
Zoom
mean by
out on
that
the
is
chart,
zoom out
please.
on the chart.
Can we add a sixth
No,
one,
please. No,
please?
please. It's forceful. You
Oh,
need to
do it.
you need to
So
zoom
maybe
out on the
seven.
chart. So I want you to think about I think and then I want you to remember this next sentence. I'm not going to count the words.
Okay,
Whatever must go up must go down, and vice versa. Well, most things that go down go back up, but whatever must come up must come down,
that
and
was like
usually it
22
comes
words.
and usually it goes back up. So if you zoom out on the chart, you see cryptocurrency is this, as well as the stock market.
Yep.
So even if it's there, it's gonna go there, but then it's gonna come back down here. And when it's there, it may go down, up, down, up, down, up. It's a revolving cycle. So anybody who's wanting to learn about it, don't lose hope. Don't be dismotivated. When you have money in there, this is the saying with cryptocurrency: never, ever, ever spend more than you can afford to lose. That's the saying there, because it's more risky than the stock market, and it is a gamble. I do believe it is a gamble. on the
Definitely.
non-stable coins.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But, with more risk comes more reward, which once again, guys,
Amen
we're
to
not
that.
financial advisors. But if you
Well,
do
no,
want to become rich, I feel like that's a very fast way to do it because of the fact that it is very risky. It's kind of like going gambling. It's very high risk,
It's
high reward.
volatile. Volatile is the word I would like to use.
Volatile. Yes. Like a
speaking of
Volatile.
stability, I still find it hilarious how El Salvador adapted Bitcoin as their currency just because it's more stable than their own currency.
Wait, what? This is insane.
Am I right in
Yeah.
saying that, Evan? I think you might know more.
I don't know if that's the exact reason that they did it. But they did adopt Bitcoin. Yes, he is right on that one. Yep.
Oh my God. Hold on, I'm looking this up right now.
I think I was listening to Anthony Populano say that.
That is so funny. Oh, this was back in 2021 in June. It said legislators
Yeah,
ready to
this was.
approve the
Let's see.
Bitcoin law. That's what it was called, the Bitcoin law. Market demand for supportive technology expected to increase. And they became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender. That's so funny.
Yep.
That's hilarious. I wonder if anyone else has adopted it as legal tender. But
I know,
yeah,
like
what
Tesla, you can buy like cars with like Bitcoin now. I think you can buy like Dogecoin and Bitcoin. Like if you want to buy a
You used
Tesla,
to be able to buy Tesla.
yeah.
yeah, Dogecoin. Yeah, that's so sick. Yeah. That'd be so cool. I need to get some Dogecoin. That stuff looks cool. But gosh, honestly, we should just turn this into a straight crypto podcast. Man, we're killing it right now. We're doing great. This is great. But yeah, shifting gears a little bit, Nate, we got to talk. We have some other big news we need to talk about too, about especially Jake Paul versus.
Wait, before we get there, I'm curious about one more thing crypto wise.
Okay, Nate, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You got it.
What do you think the future of NFTs are? Do you think it's gonna stay with like art, or you like kind of shift more into like utility NFTs? Like you kind of said you're
So
more into this.
if you asked me this question 1 year ago, I would
Mm.
tell you NFTs are the future.
Yeah.
I still believe that in a sense. I think they could be the future in terms of in real estate, right? So I think that it's going to get to a point. So what NFTs would do in real estate is they would take out the middleman completely. They could take out the title companies. They could take everything out. They can make an NFT that is basically the value and everything that has to do with the house. So when you own that NFT, you own a house, right?
Mhm.
I think that's where it can go. I think the projects that were made were completely diluted. You have to remember everything is community driven. So if you get enough people to do anything, anything will happen, right? If you put enough money, enough people will see it. There will be enough interest. So
Yep.
it has nothing to do with that. Projects with no utility have made people millions of dollars just because of community driven growth, right? Granted, it may be artificial growth, but who cares? Money's money. People make it. It's a very good system, but we'll see.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say on that, I can definitely see how it would affect real estate and stuff like that. Cause that's the area that I work in too, being like, cause I work at a few law firms who are doing a lot of real estate law stuff, and that title stuff is very important. And I can definitely see where that can come in. The one issue I see with it though is speed, because the reason why is because governments inherently are very, very slow. They have so many different moving parts. And in order to like register all that stuff, with the government and, get it all approved and everything. And it's going to take a while. So I definitely think I can see it happening, but is it the right time right now? I don't know. I can't say, but yeah, I think definitely in the future, I think that would be really interesting to hear about.
Sure. Sorry, we're gonna shift back towards your Jake Paul. I was just curious.
Any other questions? No, this is good, Nate. This is good. Evan, is there something that we need to be asking right now that we haven't been asked? Because not gonna lie, this isn't really my area of expertise. I know a little bit about it from what you've taught me, but I know Nate loves this stuff. I mean, look at him; he's all giddy right now, shaking in his chair. But but is there any other things that like you want to say that you're mentioned about crypto that you'd like to teach our wonderful audience, or about NFTs or anything?
Yeah. So I want to say two things. Number one, learn before you do anything. You know, do your research. DYOR. Do your own research. Get on YouTube, watch videos, and then the second thing is, why aren't we talking about Andrew Tate and Jake Paul yet, man? Because like
That's what I'm
I need to
saying.
I need to see
Bro,
if this fight's gonna happen. And all I'm saying is, if it happens, it is gonna be the biggest money making event I think ever. in
Oh,
history.
100%.
They
And we have
if
10
they
minutes
are
to talk about this. So we got to
they
really
are
go and talk about
that's
it.
fine. They are not dumb enough to not do this fight. They both are smart people. Now let me say this: Andrew Tate will get his ass kicked.
What?
Andrew
What?
Tate will get his
No
ass
shot. No
kicked.
shot.
Listen,
I'm all
listen,
in. I'm all in with Andrew Tate. I'm telling you, he's gonna win. But he's 4-time
listen,
kickboxing world champion.
listen. I do think Andrew Tate says some out of pocket stuff, but I will say he's very real, and I like that. I agree with a lot of the things he says. The people that don't like him are soft, and the people that don't want to admit to their own problems. But I will say this: Jake Paul's got some fire in him, and I haven't. He's surprised all of us. And honestly, I used to think everything was rigged. I don't believe that anymore. People don't put up their names of their name of years and years and years of being champions. Now, granted, he fights older people. He fights people that don't do. He fights everybody where that is not fair to fight.
The retired people.
So the retired people,
Andrew Tate's also a
um,
lot smaller. He's a smaller guy too. You gotta keep that
Is
in mind.
he?
Yeah, I just looked it up. He's about 80 to 90 kilos, so that's about 160, 170 pounds. And Jake Paul is probably around close to 200.
Holy
yeah, Jake
cow.
Jake
That's
Paul
a real
Jake
thing.
Paul would Jake Paul would kick him. Now,
Yeah.
if they were not boxing, if they were like doing MMA, Jake Paul
Mhm.
would lose.
Well, I don't. Does Andrew Tate do MMA? I thought he was more a kickboxer.
Andrew Tate is a kickboxer. Andrew Tate is a
Yeah.
kickboxer. I know he likes boxing a lot too, and I think that's why he wants to get in the ring with Jake Paul. But here's the beauty of this, okay? No matter if you like the guys or hate them, these two people are both very controversial figures. So no matter
Mm-hmm.
no matter who's getting taken down, it's gonna be a great show for everybody. I feel like
So
Oh yeah.
everybody can go and join and
all like the
love this.
Scully boy Andrew Tate haters go cheer for Jake Paul, or
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. It's like whose side do you root for? All right, so Evan thinks that he's gonna win. So who do you think, Nate? I gotta hear who you're thinking because I'm
I'm
team
thinking
Andrew.
Jake
I think he's
Paul.
gonna do it.
Jake Paul's younger. He's bigger, more athletic, probably right now. I think of Jake Paul.
No
He's got
way.
more.
I
He's got
guess we'll
more.
see.
I don't think Andrew's ego will let him lose. That's the only thing that's. I think Jake Paul is at the point where he can just accept defeat now. Andrew Tate doesn't seem like he could accept defeat. He
I,
would lose his reputation.
Andrew Tate was also
Everything.
like a fake champion. Like he wasn't even like in a real like legitimate top upper echelon like
Yeah.
kickboxing.
What do you mean? Yes, he was. I'm pretty sure he was. I mean, he's
I
got the
don't think
belts
he
to
was
prove
like he
it.
was like competing with like Israel Adesanya when he was like fighting kickboxing, like or Pereira. I guess like when they were doing kickboxing, like it just seemed almost like he's not fighting the best of kickboxing opponents to get that champion. Like
Interesting. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm still Team Tate. I think he's gonna kill it. I got a good feeling from the fact that 4-time kickbox world champ. I think that's what it is. So I don't know. We'll see. But
Well,
here's
we'll hear your apology after defeat.
that's true. That's true. What are we waging? We gotta have a wager.
if
What's the
Andrew
wager?
Tate loses, I'll come out and apologize. Or like if he
All
wins,
right,
I guess.
I will. All right, if Andrew Tate loses, I will come on and apologize. But I think he's gonna win. He's a fighter through and through. He's been doing it for a long time, so I don't know. I'm
So
going with him.
okay, remember the podcast we talked about Anderson Silva fighting Jake Paul. I got it right. I said Jake Paul was gonna win.
You did? Wait, you got it right?
Yeah, Jake Paul won. So I'm one of those so far.
Good
So
stuff, Big Nate. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey Nate, you did a great job guessing against someone that's retired.
Oh, dude.
Hey,
I
Anderson
thought it was the
Silva,
retired guy, right? Didn't I say retired guy?
Yeah.
yeah, he was retired. I mentioned it on the podcast.
Did I say Silva, though? I'm pretty sure I said Silva, right? I don't know. I
uh,
can't remember. I don't know. Who's our assistant? We need our assistant to come look this up for us. No, here's what we need. Here's the fight that we need. So whoever the winner is, okay? Whoever the winner is. So we had Andrew Tate, we got Jake Paul. Whoever the winner is, they have to fight the big dog. This would be the fight of the century.
And
Them
who's the big
two
dog?
versus Hezbollah. The winner.
it seems like they're trying to make the most hated people fight each other. So like it's like Elon versus Donald Trump's gonna box. The winner has to fight
That would be
Andrew Tate
fire.
versus Jake Paul.
Who you guys got? Trump or Elon?
Oh, Trump. I'll take Trump in that one. Trump's a big guy, isn't he? Like he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah,
Elon's a big guy
yeah.
too, though.
I mean, I love the man. I love Donald Trump. Daddy Trump. He's amazing, but he is older. You know,
I think
Elon.
I think Elon's gonna win. Here's why. Elon used to fight kids when he was younger, and because he's from South Africa. Not a lot of people know this, but he's actually from South Africa. I'm pretty sure he was born there. And literally,
He was.
he used to fight people all the time in South Africa. So he's been in some down and dirty fights. Trump, I'm sure he's fought some people, but I don't know. Being like South Africa, like growing up there, especially and like fighting like that, I don't know. It sounded like it was rough. I know. I remember saw an interview where he was doing that, but we gotta
I
get
feel like
Hosbula
everything-
though. Hosbula would be
I
hype.
feel like everything in the production of Trump Elon would be made of gold.
Very true. Very true. And it's honestly not a bad idea. Not a
That's
bad idea at all.
serious, like, who would host that? Like, would you have like Joe Rogan sit on the court's ringside? I
That'd
think
be awesome.
Why would be happy to promote that. Like, he's a big Trump guy too, I think. So he'll happily facilitate that and make all the millions. With it.
Oh, that would be awesome. And here's the thing too. We got to get Joe Rogan commentating on it. And then we got to get Evan doing all the commercials for like FTX and all the crypto stuff.
I don't think anyone wants an FTX commercial.
You said what?
I don't think anyone wants an FTX commercial.
No.
We're done with that.
Did you hear FTX? The Miami Heat actually cut ties with FTX for naming rights. They're gonna get new. They're gonna change the stadium. Yeah, everyone did. You know, as they should.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that too, and they're actually trying to change it. I actually saw that on Instagram again too. I need to stop Instagram, but no, I saw it. They're actually trying to change the name. I think some company called. I don't even know what the name of it was called, but it was some like raunchy, like, you know, like website, and they want to team up with Miami Heat to name their stadium that, and I thought it was so funny. I was just like, oh my god.
Well, the Lakers, their stadium used to be called the Staples Center, right?
Yeah.
Now it's the Crypto.com Arena, or whatever it is.
Yep.
Staples Center is like Madison Square Garden. It's like one of the like pinnacles of arenas. Like everyone knows the Staples Center. And Crypto.com got so big, it just took that name away. It's just hilarious.
Exactly.
God, that is crazy. All right, I want to ask each of you guys, because we're coming short on time here. If I were to give you one Bitcoin right now, what would you do with it? Nate, I'll start with you.
What Bitcoin? What would I do with it?
Or Evan, if you have one, you can go ahead.
No, go for it, Nate. We'll save second for best.
I can start. You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I would buy a bunch of pizza. Hear me out. I'd buy a bunch of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I would take it, cut it in multiple slices, feed it to the homeless, and then get Dave Portnoy and Hosbula on one episode of One Bite and have them try the pizzas together and make an episode. That would be fire. Them trying all the pizzas, then they hand it to the homeless people. I think that would be awesome. I feel like that'd be a great show.
So you'll get $16,000 worth of pizza.
Yeah. Why not, right? Some dude, actually, the first dude, right? First Bitcoin ever spent was on pizza, right, Evan?
Not the first Bitcoin ever spent, but I'm sure everybody's heard the story of the guy who bought pizzas and he didn't have cash on him, so instead he paid the delivery driver of the pizza place in Bitcoin, and it was hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin.
In today's money, it'd be like worth hundreds of thousands, but this was when Bitcoin first started.
It would be a $1 billion valuation from about a year ago, less than a year ago.
So the man paid $1 billion for pizza. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's commitment.
Yeah. All right, go for it, Nate.
I would probably
Hurry up, we got 30 seconds left.
I'm a holder. I'll hold on to it.
Hold on to it. All right, next
right.
episode we'll talk about it. What about you, Evan?
I would stake it. I would take half of it and build interest on it on staking websites, and then the other half of it I would.
All right, I like it. We got 20 seconds left. Hold on, I gotta do an outro. All right, Evan's gonna buy some steak. My name's Nate. You're Dev. Nate? No, I'm just kidding. My name's Dev. We got Nate and we got Evan. Evan, thank you so much, and we appreciate you guys so much. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Thank you again. See y'all later. Peace.